Hey everyone, it's me, Ari Dawson, Rashid. I'm your anthropologist and sociologist. Hit the like button, share this video, subscribe to the channel, become a member of the channel. Don't forget, donate the links below. If you wish to contribute to the funding of my PhD, then write PhD with your donation, please. And you can check my novels on Amazon. Thank you very much. Okay, cults. I make live streams and videos about cults. You can check them out. I'm not going to repeat everything I said in my videos and live streams. It's going to be too much for me to cover in this short video here. Just know that cults do have something to offer. And the one thing cults have to offer is an organized escape. I've been watching this Netflix documentary. That's the reason I have Netflix to watch documentaries. And sometimes I see which movie just came out. And why do I watch some of those movies to come out on Netflix? To see what goes on in wider society. Because those movies often are either a reflection of what goes on in society or it's an agenda they want to perpetrate on society. But anyway, I saw this documentary about this dance cult. It was led by this pastor, this Asian pastor in the United States of America. You can check it out yourself. Now, it starts with this uh, European American family, what I call a white American family, mom, dad, two daughters. Daughters were close to one another. They loved dancing. Little by little, one of the sisters gets involved in this movement where they read the Bible often, and before you know it, they found out she's about to get married and they realize she's out. Family is heartbroken. Then they find out other families going through the same stuff. And little by little, the members of the cult realizes they're in a cult. The spell is being broken. And for the rest, check the documentary yourself. I'm not going to spill the beans. As an anthropologist, when I look at such stuff, the number one question I ask is, how come nobody saw this coming? Because, look, a cult can only function if there's something people are not facing. Oh, let me say it one more time. Let me say it one more time. A cult, whether it's just a common cult or a satanic cult, doesn't matter. Any cult can only function and last as long as people are not facing something. Maybe your grandpa just died, or maybe you're going through a divorce, or maybe just started a new job. I mean, there is a transition happening in your life. Now, as a human being, when you go to transitions, you are at your most vulnerable. This is just how the way it is. It may not be you move to a new city, you start a new job. That is the thing you're denying. Gosh, you are going to a new place. You are starting a new job. There may be something in your life that you haven't owned up to. Now, look, not everyone had a horrible childhood. No, but but the thing is, everyone in this world becomes damaged by the world at some point. If it's not directly in your early childhood, it will be later on. I mean, this is a fallen world. All right? And let me tell you, there are no there are no 100% healthy, safe climates on the earth. If you find one, tell me about it. Human beings in this fallen state, they can do the best they can to be of quality towards others. Nevertheless, we know that our perfection comes from the Heavenly Father when we serve Him. Are most people on earth serve the Heavenly Father? No. This is why the world is the way it is. Even those who worship the Heavenly Father, they have to overcome issues here and there. So even if you have parents who worship the Heavenly Father in spirit and in truth, they still may have some faults or attacks they went through where they went out of character and that damaged you, whatever. It doesn't mean they were bad parents or bad people. It simply means that in their human state during this lifetime, they had faults and errors, and those affected you. Or maybe you had parents who meant it all well for you, but the way they did things were not beneficial because they were misinformed. But anyway, just because your childhood was not horrible, with a lot of beatings and screamings, all of that, doesn't automatically mean that you were not damaged. And if you were damaged, it doesn't mean it was on purpose. It can be you're damaged by an uncle was a bit unkind. Maybe your uncle came often to visit you guys and he was a bit unkind. Your parents were unkind, but your uncle was. That affected you. What I'm saying is, you can't come with a black or white view on it. Now, some children go through a lot of difficulties unnecessarily, those who neglect, others go through less difficulty. Just know that all human beings will be damaged at some point by the world. So all human beings, regardless of how your childhood was, you have something you need to own up to and process. Simple as that. I mean, just even if it's not directly to trauma, maybe you're someone who's quite outgoing, but in society, there are certain rules how you need to behave. And because you don't want to be punished when you were growing up, you kind of adapted to the behavior expected of you, and you repressed how you really felt. And because you had no healthy outlet, that became a source of frustration for you, and that damaged you. So it's not that it was something directly evil, but societal norms also could have been a bit oppressive towards you. Just know that all of us have something to own up to and to process. Simple as that. Those that claim that their upbringing was perfect and they turned out well, they're lying to you and likely they are delusional. So they really need help. And by the way, not every damage that you contract in life will stem from your childhood. Some people are damaged more as adults because they enter into the wrong sexual relationship or they hang out with the wrong crowds during the teenage years. What I'm saying is that all of us need to reflect, own up to the dysfunction and deficiencies. And once we admit to it, we now realize we need to be better and we comply with justice by striving to be better. Not striving better our way by exhausting ourselves with religious routines, but by submitting to the Heavenly Father. It begins with admitting things. And here is the problem. A lot of people out there often have no idea they've been damaged because sometimes damaged behavior is normalized. For example, in the Netherlands, it's normalized for people to be direct and insensitive with what they feel, how they think, and what they want. Go elsewhere in the world and behave like people do in the Netherlands, you get in trouble. Sometimes in physical fights with people. Thing is, because in the Netherlands, this narcissistic dumping by being direct and insensitive towards people is normalized, a lot of people don't realize that it's actually abusive behavior. Abusive behavior will damage those that you treat with it. If you treat someone in an abusive way, it will damage them. It will also damage you in the process because abuse damages both the abuser and the one being abused. The thing is, when abusive behavior is normalized, a lot of people have a hard time realizing it's abusive. And because normalized toxicity is defended by the community, you tend to think something's wrong with you for calling it out. But it isn't. And anyway, your situation may be complex, maybe not. Just know we all need to reflect and examine things. When a human being is not aware how damaged they are, or when they know the symptoms, something's wrong with them or something's wrong with the environment and they won't own up to it, or if they realize they've been damaged but they don't want to face it, in any case, when they are in denial, where denial comes from, the suppressing knowledge of how damaged they've become, or they know things off but they don't want to admit it, it's both denial. When human beings operate in denial, they are bringing more damage themselves. So they were damaged already. Now the damage is increasing. So when human beings remain in denial, they increase damage within themselves. But when they increase damage within themselves, they're the ones doing it. They're the ones keeping themselves in this bad situation. But they now don't realize they're the ones doing it because often they're not called out on it. So what happens is such people will look around them and they'll feel depressed because they'll think, look at how life is going well for all those other people. Now they act like everyone else's life is much better than theirs. Or some go the other ways, act like, oh, everything is useless anyway. They become nihilistic. In any case, They now are projecting the inner unrest on the environment. And now they want to get away from this unrest. So then they encounter someone or a group of people that tells them what they needed to hear a long time ago. It's not always what they want to hear, but someone may tell you something you need to hear. Maybe you're quite stressed out most of the time. You develop a stress disorder and you take your medication. And someone tells you you have to stop being so controlling. And this is the first time someone told you in your life that you stop being so controlling. And once they told you that, you realize, whoa, indeed. And now you listen more and more and realize that you being so controlling causes stress to you. For you, it's a big revelation. So automatically, you notice some improvement in your life. And because you notice some improvement, you think, hey, what else can they say that's beneficial? And that's how you can be lured into a cult too. It's either someone tells you what you want to hear, how special you are, there's everyone else's fault except yours, whatever. So either they stroke your ego, or they tell you a base thing you need to hear, but they won't tell you the full story. Because if you have a control issue that causes you a lot of stress, and it causes you to be on medication, the root issue is you're controlling. Someone addressed that's good, they addressed it. But how come you became so controlling? What's behind it? Now they need to admit the failure of the community that shaped you to the dysfunctional adults you are right now. That's the full story. The thing is, if someone only tells you one fact, but not the whole story, that itself can be misleading. Now, if someone only tells you a fact because that's all they know, okay, they have no bad intentions. But if someone mentions a fact towards you without telling you the whole story, or not even hinting you there's a more bigger story behind it, what are they doing? They are tricking you. They are lying to you. Because now you think, hey, if I just stop being controlling, it's going to be better in my life. No, this is the thing. You being controlling is a symptom of a far bigger damage. So by telling you that you're a bit controlling, yes, they reveal something to you, but haven't shown the full story. So now you end up thinking that you can improve yourself by your own efforts, without therapy, without counseling, and without processing painful facts. And now you're stuck in a cult. So understand this. As long as people are in denial, whether denial is active or passive, it doesn't matter. As long as they operate in denial, they are increasing damage within themselves, and in the process, through their dysfunctional and defective interaction with others, they're also damaging others. So that needs to stop. Now, admitting things, owning up to things, does not mean everything is solved. Sometimes it can be more painful to admit things you were repressing for a long time. But that's the beginning of healing and recovery. That's the beginning of complying with justice. People end up in cults because the cult has one thing to offer: organized escape. There's something people are escaping from. Let's say you have a cult with 10 people in it. It doesn't mean all 10 people are escaping the same thing or a similar thing. Look, if you have a cult, and let's say you have a cult of 10 women, and all these women were done dirty by their earthly fathers. Now you have 10 women with similar childhood wounds denying the same thing: parental neglect. But it doesn't always have to be like that. Maybe you're in a cult and you have people of various backgrounds, and each of them is denying something else. Some people may be denying parental neglect, others may be denying some sexual abuse happened to them, others may deny the unkindness in the climate, others may deny their own laziness. I mean, it can be you're in a cult and you have various people from various backgrounds denying different things. But what binds them together is the denial. So, anytime you hear someone got trapped into a cult, by the way, there are exceptions in which people are sucked into a cult and they're not aware of it. That can happen, but that's rare. Most of the time, people end up in cults, it is because they are in denial of something. Whatever they're in denial of blurred their perception, and now they perceive that group, or what a group was teaching them, to be valuable. Because when you are in chronic denial, which I call toxic denial, when you are in toxic denial, the only good news that you will hear is when you can escape and be left alone. Even though that's not good news objectively, for you, it will be perceived as good news. People tell you have to face things, own up to stuff, and process things. It's not what you want to hear. Because now you have to face all those painful and embarrassing, horrible stuff. So when someone giving you a bailout will be perceived as good news. So when you are in toxic denial, you can't think clearly. You can't function clearly. So that's why being realistic is important. Again, it's not easy, but it is the best thing you can do both for yourself and those around you. So as long as human beings are in toxic denial, you will continue to have cults and satanic cults take advantage of the masses. So you will have cults and satanic cults till the day Christ Jesus comes back. And in the Western world, now, 2024 and beyond, expect more cults and more satanic movements to arise. Because a lot of people in the West don't want to process things, especially not after this genocide that's still ongoing in Gaza. I hope by the time you hear this video, the genocide is over and dealt with. Just understand that toxic denial is the fuel for cults. You want to stop cults, then let's normalize owning up to the imperfections, defects, faults, and deficiencies of the public. But guess what? That's something world people absolutely don't want to do. So be guaranteed there will be cults rising up continuously. I'm recording this video spontaneously. I did not pre-plan this. I'm at the spot teaching you now. That's why sometimes I pause and think, how can I say things the best way? And to end this video, I'm telling you, if you ended up in a cult that you left, you still need to do the processing. Because if you don't do the processing, you may end up in worse. Some of you will listen to this, you were part of a cult, or you were in a bad situation that almost killed you. It's because of the grace of God you're still alive. So let's learn to be real about things. Let's learn to be real about things. Only when you're real about things can things get better. Well, that's it for now. Keep on with Christ. Again, hit the like button, share this video, subscribe to the channel, become a member of the channel, donate the links below. If you wish to contribute to the fund of PhD, write PhD for donation, and check my novels on Amazon. I'll see you next time.